Good afternoon and welcome to the Blackwater Cantina. My name is Mazz, and this evening I am joined by...
I'm Mike.
And I'm Robin.
Yay! See, we're getting there. We're like 30 episodes in. Now we're getting there. We're going to be talking about hobby time. Lots of hobby related stuff this episode, so we're going to skip the usual what have we been doing this week. First of all, we're going to have a quick chat through War Machine 3D, more Dark Operations, the last Dark Operations. I'll shut up about it soon.
You won't.
I won't, because I'm painting my Dark Operations. That's my next big project. But Dominated Strike Reavers from the Orgoth. So they look kind of cool. We mentioned them before when they bought the model. Yeah, they look kind of funky. 30mm bases. 40mm bases for them. And 30mm for the Dominator. But it gives some nice big chunky shield wall guys with some ranged weapons as well. So
Yeah.
more shooting.
More shooting for you, Mazz. It's going to feel weird for you, won't it?
I know, I'm going to have to figure this out. Well, to be fair, I've been playing a lot of Dusk, so I've gotten the hang of shooting stuff now. But yeah, it's going to feel weird shooting things with Dark Operations. It's going to feel slightly alien.
I'm sure you'll get used to it.
I'm sure you guys will hate every minute of it.
Absolutely.
Well, going into the next thing then, the Vulcan gets released.
Today?
And I'm super
Yesterday?
happy about that.
A couple of days ago. By the time this releases, a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I'll be getting 2 of them now that I sourced.
Your local 3D printer.
Do that. Yes, well, we'll talk about those soon.
Yeah.
Southern Krell's got some terrain for Bright Blood Brawlers. I am, again, super happy with that.
I love the shack. I think that's my favourite.
Yeah.
It's a very fancy shack.
Mangrove shack. Well, the best thing is, so in the Witchfire Trilogy campaign, there's a section where you're going down a river, and there's a couple of places where you can stop at little shacks like that, and that is exactly what they look like in the artwork. It's spot on. So that made me quite happy when I saw that.
The Swamp Grove is better than the one we talked about when we were talking about the Southern Krell's one.
Yeah.
I know theirs is meant to be more mangrove because it's deeper into the swamps, but this one just looks better, in my opinion.
That looks cool. I like that.
Again, the shipwreck debris and the capsized longbow, they look just great, just as they are.
Yeah. This little mangrove cluster, the little burning tar pit's quite nice as well.
Yeah.
It's fun to have the more narrative terrain for doing different scenarios and things that are less steamrollery, more.
Terrain.
Yeah.
Scatter terrain looks absolutely great. I love the rum barrel wall.
Yeah. With the bottles of rum at the side of it as well.
Yeah.
I noticed that the one thing that Steamforge will be doing consistently is making the high ground for everybody to have.
Yeah.
The Dark Operations had their own version of high ground. Gravediggers had their own version. Old Umbres had their own version, and now we get Rocky Atoll Rise.
There was a Crystal Guard one as well. Was the mechanical platform thing, which looked really cool. Which I still haven't gotten around to printing yet, but that's on the list.
Again, they have a thing for the high ground.
Everyone. Well, now elevation's back in the game because obviously in Mark 3 there was no elevation, whereas now it's back. So let's have some hills to put dudes on. And then
the Kifgard book nook.
Yeah, for all those people who need to buy more books, it looks really cool.
Have too many books.
See, I like the idea of book nooks. I think they look funky on a shelf. My only problem with them is I don't have any space because of all the books on my bookshelf.
Yeah.
So this is the quandary for me, but that does look kind of cool, and I like the idea. I've seen a lot of the Roman Lepat picture frames with a diorama inside, and that's kind of in that kind of theme. That is definitely one to be painting in sub-assemblies though, because
Oh yeah.
egads painting that in one piece would be horrible.
I really like the plugger just coming out of the trees.
Just,
Yeah.
I like that it's the Kithgard Booknook and Plugger is about to make a mess out of those trolls.
Yeah.
Like they're losing on
I
the road.
wouldn't mind seeing more of things like this because it's interesting. People who have the space for it, they can have it.
Yeah, I mean, I can just put it in the cabinet and have it as a nice display piece. It's,
Well, that's it. And the fact that it's decorated on all sides as well, so you can just have it as a display piece.
You can replace the weird Cthulhu-esque statue that I have in the bottom of my cabinet that got delivered to me one day.
You're going to say
a weird
you're going to
tape.
replace your P3 trophy?
No, that lives there. I can see it when I look that way. It's the closest thing in the cabinet to me.
Oh.
I know. Proud of myself. Although the Grandmaster stuff that was shown today or Wednesday, as per we record on Wednesday, so the stuff on there that's rather nice. So the Jess Cowtree, I don't know how to pronounce that, but that iconoclast is very cool. Give me a little bit of inspiration. My iconoclasts are coming soon, so. And then
I like Thomas Grable's Bright Bloods.
Yeah.
They just look really.
Yeah, they look nice. There's a whole bunch of pictures up on Instagram as well of like all of the stuff. So go check out the Steamforged Instagram. Lots of pictures on there. Some very cool stuff. It's nice to see painting competitions in War Machine. This is one of the things that I think kind of lacked in War Machine was painted armies and painting competitions and having more stuff painted. And I like painting. That's the biggest part of the hobby for me, is painting.
Yes.
The fact that I actually get to play against War Machine is great, but you know, I can paint stuff and I enjoy it. So it's nice to see.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. I said it's just nice to see that kind of coming back and being pushed a bit more. So, yeah.
No, I completely agree. Mike's going to be happy because as of the 4th of December, today, Death Jack goes on sale for pre-orders.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pre-orders have been the official sale date will be self-recording tomorrow, so
yesterday as of the day you guys watched this, but
exactly.
Yeah.
As long as you're watching it, I mean, on the day of release, which I hope you are.
It's a very important other thing that goes on the 4th of December. It is my dog's birthday.
Yes.
There you go. And my brother's, but dog's more important.
Dog's more important.
See, when you're talking about it's yesterday, but it's tomorrow, but it's also back, what I'm thinking is this asterisk over it's there, where it's like, oh yeah, tomorrow doesn't exist, it's just yesterday.
All of this time travel shenanigans.
All of the time travel.
That's it. In the app today, no big changes. We got the Vulcan now has 2 fists instead of 1, so which fine. We got some fluff for Zacchaeus, so Grimkin fluff, which I always like.
Yep. We do like some Grimkin.
So I'm going to throw out this prediction that Fane of Nero is going to get to use him. I reckon.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of fits the winter theme.
The chilly theme.
The chilly theme.
I've got my half of the Frozen and Forgotten boxes on my desk now. It's probably the next thing to get painted. But they're all there, undercoated and ready. But I've not had a lot of painting time for the last couple of weeks because being in Poland.
Yeah.
But, you know, embracing the theme of winter, so it was a good few inches of snow out there, which was nice. Yeah. Yeah. So, Robin, where are you getting your Vulcans from?
I'm getting them from this wonderful company that I found out in my local area. Funny enough, it is exactly 17 minutes by walking from my house, and it's even closer to my workplace. So the company's name is Zealot Miniatures. I got the tour of their factory as well. It is absolutely fantastic. I've never seen so many 3D printers in one room. It's been a very long time since I've seen an old metal spindle caster as well.
Yeah.
Which was incredible to see. They've got everything there. Their sculpts are absolutely amazing, so they can go from everything from high detail resin to super high durable resin.
Yeah.
They were a fantastic company. The owner Eddie showed me around. He was a lovely guy to talk to, so I've been able to use these guys as they're closer to me than using our printing human than having to wait until Mazz can pick it up for me.
Yeah.
So it being closer to me and just an absolutely fantastic place to just go and grab some bits from. And I'm sure Mazz is going to show you pictures of the website here. If you guys want to check them out, they do ship internationally apart from the States at the moment. I assume that's just due to tariff issues, but I could be wrong. They've got some lovely sculpts. We were going through them before this. The sculpts that I saw, but they had there was they were doing some spots for a customer. The detail on them was absolutely insane. They were for I can't remember what you said they were for, but the sculpts were absolutely fantastic. I personally like the Berserker Minotaur that they've got on their website, and it just looks pretty insane, especially the crisp details as well.
I quite like the Glorious Overlord miniature. He's rather nice. So I think.
But we'll leave a description down in. A link in the description just so that if anybody does want to check them out who's watching these videos, they do commission well. So if you want something printed off, they'll come back to you with a quote and all those wonderful things to go along with it. But if you want anything from their website, the sculpts are calm. I really wish I was allowed to take videos yesterday or pictures when I was walking around, because it is just absolutely brilliant. They'd made the joke after if they were hiring, but unfortunately not. I'd quite happy to go work there, but
yeah, a nice walk to a nice thing that you can enjoy. But yeah,
exactly.
Cool, awesome. So we didn't talk about what we'd done this week because I thought it'd be nice to have a chat. We got a lot of chat about rules and lists and fluff and other bits, but painting is part of the hobby. Some people love it, some people hate it, but painting is part of the hobby and is a big part of the hobby. And it's part that I quite enjoy. But motivation to paint and finding time to paint can be a pain in the arse. So I'm going to share a few bits and pieces that we do to basically get ourselves through things. So, Mike, what do you do? What's your number one, I do this when I want to paint something?
So it's going to sound really odd, but I like making a playlist, something that will get me into the sort of the vibe of what I'm painting and how I'm going to paint it.
Yeah. I like to pick a movie, pick a painting movie.
Yeah.
A
movie, a playlist, anything that will kind of get me where I need to go.
Cool. It's a good thing, just like setting the vibe for your painting session, because I've got kids. If they're running around and playing on the Xbox or whatever, I'm not getting much painting done. That's not happening. So it's wait until they've gone to bed for me. But now they have Xboxes in their room, so that happens of their own accord quite early. So that's good. But yeah, I love a cheesy horror movie to paint to. I think that's my favourite brain dead thing to have. Brain dead, in fact. It's a good movie to paint to. I make a point of having like a set time every week. So in the diary, I have a painting evening. Wife is out. As soon as the kids go to bed, that's my painting time. And that happens every week without fail. So organising my shit is my jam. I spend my life organising people for a job. That's what I do. I herd developers, which is like herding cats. It's great. So organising myself is kind of second nature at this point, but booking that time in, even if you're not using it every time, if you get in the habit of, right, okay, Friday night or whatever your painting time is, put a block of 3 or 4 hours into your diary. That is protected painting time. Don't book anything else in, and you'll get stuff done. It will happen. It will, I promise. What about you, Robin?
Well, as much as your organisation skills are going to think this is going to sound absolutely chaotic, and you're probably just trying to organise me now. My partner will watch my TV in the background. Sorry, watch our TV in the background. I should correct my statement there. I will usually have a headphone in whilst I've got something playing on my phone. So there's already a lot of noises going on. Fortunately, because of my job, I have to focus on what I'm doing. But I can pay attention to everything around that's going on around me. So I can watch the TV whilst listening to something on my phone and paint all at the same time.
Yeah.
And have a conversation with my partner, and she is baffled how I can do all 3 of these things and not make any mistakes or anything along those lines.
You're like the king of
Just sit my
multitasking.
ass. Only when it comes to painting. I can paint tiny little detail miniature. Give me a wall to paint, it'll be everywhere. I park my ass on the floor because I don't have a desk or anything. This is my partner's desk. This is her workstation. I'm not allowed to interfere with this, apart from when I do these calls. So I will just park my ass on the floor. I have been painting on the floor for many years. Most people have a hobby desk. I will sit on the floor. I know I'm like 34 now. I'm probably going to do my neck and my back and knees in.
Yep.
I still sit on that floor. I'll build my models on the table because it's the right coffee table's at the right height for me. So I will just sit there, and then I will have probably a month, maybe 2 months at a time. I will have all of the paints that I'm using at any given point on that table. So it can be anywhere from about 10 paints up to 52 paints. I think 52 is what I removed last time. And I will just sit and paint for a month solid. Or until I get bored, or whatever's on the TV becomes more interesting, or whatever I'm listening to is more interesting, or I fall asleep because I'm absolutely shattered.
Get the image of you falling asleep on the pallet, just wake up with like blue or...
No, it's not that. It's I would just go, oh, my knees are hurting. I'll stretch out on the floor and then just fall asleep on the floor.
I see. But did you say like you don't have a dedicated hobby space? I found that was one of the biggest shifts for me when I actually got a desk. I suddenly went from painting like 15 models a year to 300 models a year. You know, I can't think how many I've actually painted this year.
I know exactly how many I've painted this year. It's horrifying.
151.
I was going to say, there's a simple way for you to find out how many models you've been painting.
That's because I love a spreadsheet. All right, you can tell I work with organising people. Okay, so I love a spreadsheet, and I have got a Google Sheet, and I will put a link to a copy of it in the description. People can take a copy and use it for yourself. But it tracks. So I use the point per day scoring, which again I can put a link to. So it's an old thing from back in Mark II. So because War Machine points are lower than most games, I set myself a target of 365 points in a year, and using the scoring method. So when you paint a model, it's either its in-game points, or if it's something that doesn't exist in game, so like a bust or something else, it's done on the size of the base. I then apply it to other games as well, like Paint. So, I did an Old World Army this year, so it's all done by base size. And then I track it all on the spreadsheet. And originally this was done to prove to myself that I was reducing my backlog, my pile of potential, which I'll get onto in a minute. So there's even a little tab on there for like how many models I bought in a year versus how many I've painted, so I can see, right, actually I'm painting more than I bought. So this year I have painted 75 more models than I bought this year. So boom. Of course, now I have a load of STLs that I'm 3D printing, so I don't know how to count that, but
with difficulty.
Well, that's it. I can't see my next year making much of a dent, because I'm going to be buying a lot of new miniatures, I think, next year, and getting lots of stuff printed. So,
see, I'm going to get on to my next year when we get to it.
Yeah, we'll talk our next year plans at the end. So then I mentioned pile of potential, not a pile of shame. It is a pile of potential. Everyone has one. We all buy more toy soldiers than we paint. It is a fact of wargaming. We've got half-finished projects everywhere.
I was speak for yourself.
Fine. You are some sort of unicorn amongst hobbyists, but the rest of us, like I've got my Death Leaper here from Christmas. That was a Christmas present last year, and he's still shrink wrapped. I've got Titus down there who's not finished. I've got a bust that I bought, 2 busts that I bought 7 years ago. I've got my Scar bust, which is from when it was originally for sale. Mine is not painted. Yes, mine isn't one of the printed ones. It's one of the original ones from Privateer, and it's still not painted. So I have a lot of stuff. So I use the website Pile of Potential, and I track everything I've got on there. Well, it's not everything I've got, but that would just take too long to put it all on there. But when I do a project, I set it up on there, put everything in that I want to do for that project, and then I will do it in one of 2 ways. So I will either, like, my full intention for Dark Operations is to paint a whole faction. So I've put full field allowance of everything, and as I print it off and paint it, that's being done. The whole faction is being painted. As I buy stuff for like my Dusk, I've just added it on there as I bought it and picking it up. But the other one that I do is I'll set a list that I want to try, and I will put that list on there, mark off all the bits that are already painted, and then paint the remaining bits and pieces. And then as I do new lists for stuff, 100-point list or whatever, I'll only have a couple more units to paint. So I get them finished up as and when they do. So hopefully, fingers crossed, end of January, I'll have an excuse to paint my Droidguard Slayers, because they'll be amazing. I'm sure something's going to happen with them. One day, one of these days, something will be good with them. So yes, painting lists.
When you're talking about things like this, I did use when I was going through the War Master, because they have a wonderful little app. Sorry, I'm just trying to pull it up in front of me whilst I'm doing this. Where is? It's on here. It has a miniatures collect. So on the War Master app, it has a collections picture, so it tells you which bits of your army you could do. I never updated it. I started updating it because I thought I was trying to be super useful. But again, like, it gives you like how many units do you have, like how many of these do you have, of these, and you can go through it. It's like, this is built, this is not built, this is thing, and I think every app should have that.
It's
Because
almost
like some people want that little bit of dopamine build up.
Like this from War Room 2, which I still have installed. You can.
You know what? That was so good to keep you on track.
Yeah, I loved putting the collection in. Ah, see, I haven't updated it. See, my Cognific Siphon there in there. So, yeah, and then when you're building a list, you could say, right, okay, limit me to painted models only and stuff like that. Or it had an indicator. So if you have a painted one or something wasn't painted, you could see it. So I really do. It'd be really nice if they added that back into the War Machine app. I know it's probably way down the list of priorities, but
I'd also like it for a couple of the other apps like Malifaux I use. I would love them to have something like that because I do have lots of crews all painted and built. So
yeah,
especially just looking at a new crew to buy soon.
and having it organised a little bit more, like, because the interface on that War Room 2 was shocking. But looking at Pilot Potential, it's done really nicely, and that is a nice little interface, so that works really well for me. Some people think I'm mad having a big list of everything that I haven't got painted, but no, we'll see. It's got me through a lot of things, so it is nice to actually see it, and see, weirdly, that I have a habit of dropping projects around the same percentage painted. It's around 60% I get to on all my projects, and then I move on to something else, so it's certainly got me better at it. Yeah. I'll put a link to my Pilot Potential down below as well, so you can see the horrendous.
So I can see what your potential is and not shame you.
Exactly.
For me, I used to have a massive pile of shame, but my one was first of all slimming down what I actually do, because I have lots of things that I like to collect, but at the same time I was like, let's be realistic with my stuff. I don't play this, I don't play this anymore. So is it worth me keeping hold of? I decided to part with it, keep a few cool games that I play, so Malifaux being one of them, War Machine. Picking up War Master this year was a really good one. That I have a few Affinity models, because good game of Affinity is not too bad every now and again. So when I went through and I was like, right, I need to, now that I've slimmed it down, I have no excuse not to paint any of these. So this year I have cracked on with what I've painted. So being able to paint 3 full crews of Malifaux, going through essentially 2 whole armies of War Master. I am missing a few components of my Skaven that I need to pick up at some point. Doing the Bright Blood Marauders, I still it's not fully painted army yet, because I have one model left to finish off, and I didn't realise until me and Mazz had our last game.
Yeah.
I painted all my Khador, I painted all my Signar this year, or I've also painted the Valblind Bright Blood Marauders. I think he realised he was frozen and will be back shortly.
Yeah, I suspect so. The weather here is absolutely terrible, so it's potentially taking his internet out.
It's come from us, because it was nice and sunny on my lunch break, and it decided to absolutely piss it down.
Yeah.
So, again, yes, I painted my Khador, Signar, a few other bits and pieces. I have some Legion of Everblight. I'm actually off of Mike, who's no longer with us on this call. Bright Blood Marauders -1 and my Crucible Guard. I've got one of the tanks left to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just because it was in sub-assembly, so I've just got the guns on the sides. But again, when I get a model, I do tend to get really excited, and I want to quickly bash it out. Unfortunately, my Soul Blights are in the cupboard at the moment. I played 2 games of them, and then I was like, okay, I have these things now. They can go back in the cupboard after I painted them. I know they're in there and they're all complete, but again, slimming down everything I bought. Again, I'm a great lover of TT combat games, so I will be showing those models off to you, because I bashed them out in a couple of hours. Because
wave them out, wave them at the camera.
So we've got the Strix here. Again, this was me going, well, I based my Legion of Everblight skins on. It's all translucent. Wings are all ripped and torn and bone. Unfortunately, my camera will not pick up that it's got saliva all built in. It's got bits of blood on here. Again, this was a lovely model from TT Combat for a game called Carnival that I play. And the next one is, which only took me it was a solid day. I started the evening, and I think I went to bed at 9 a.m. Some stupid like that. And that was to get So for Drop Zone Commander, which is again is a lovely TT combat game, it is city-based level fighting. You get these new wonderful things called, well, this is Warhammer Titan. Essentially, it's the size of a Imperial Knight for anybody who plays 40k and wants the size comparison. So this is the Dictator, which is super heavy in the game. Normally, your tanks are about 10 mil, so they're about yay big.
Yeah.
You've got airships and everything flying around. This thing will just lands in. You don't need to have to take them much, but I absolutely love this model, and it is all pearlescent, which
Cool.
I sat in my kitchen airbrushing for one evening and filled the room up so much I had to empty the whole house open, every window open, and that was during the winter. So
yeah,
when I eventually woke up, I was frozen.
So the airbrush is a very handy tool, but I use it mostly for basing stuff or putting base coats down. I'm not fancy enough with it to do like markings and shit.
For me, it's the time to set it up. So by the time I've got my compressor, I've got the compressor back up to the right compression settings. I've got the right airflow. I'm already bored and I want to go sit down. So for me to actually sit there and do sit there with chameleon paints or do all these wonderful things, it's hard. So I would just sit there with a brush. I've been practicing again, learning different techniques. So such as like there's various YouTube channels you can watch. Like Peter Wargamer is one of the ones that I go to if I just need something to watch. But again, for anything hobby wise, I will just sit. I will just watch TV. I just take inspiration for what I've seen that day, or if I have an idea in my head, I will go with that. But for me, I am starting to get a little bit more organized, like Mazz. Before I can remember what colors I've used for something.
I see. I write them down.
I don't write them down anymore. I don't need to. So I have about 100 different metallics because I love metallic painting. It's one of my favorite metallics. So I have like 4 different lead belchers. I've got like 4 mithril silvers from Vallejo. I've got all sorts.
Yeah.
A couple of quicksilver shades and type things. So I now have little Chinese food containers. They're not Chinese. You can get them in most takeaway shops. Basically, these micro Tupperware containers. They're all plastic with lids.
Yep.
My projects tend to go into those now. So if I'm working on, say, Brightblood Marauders, I will have the Flash, which is a crap, I can't even remember the name of it. Caribbean Ocean. That's not even Caribbean. The Caribbean Ocean from which is the speed paints from Army Painter. So I use that as a flesh. I have that in there. A variety of different reds, yellows, greens. Those things I won't put in there because I tend to use those on different projects. So it'd be like the Caribbean Ocean. If I've got like a pot of sand that I'm using that specific like grains or texture, that will go in there as well because everything on that project at that moment in time will just sit in that box until I'm done with it.
The box it all up together, yeah.
Yeah, it just makes life easier because instead of putting it all away, which is a big cupboard over there, I am going to open this for our viewers. So I do apologise that I am in my pajamas, but that's a whole lot of shame. And I know the doesn't help me share, but it's organised chaos. There is so much of that crap in there. So having it in little containers and things makes my life a little bit easier.
Yeah. Yeah, and to be fair, this is one of the things actually I've started doing recently is actually buying the case that the miniatures are going to go in before I buy the miniatures, because then it saves me having loads of models sat on my desk hanging about. Like, you end up with things getting broken or damaged or dropped or chipped or whatever because they're in a pile on the desk. Like, unfortunately, I ordered the War Master case before I even got stuff printed, and it still hasn't shown up because apparently cases are at some sort of premium at the moment. But
I've got one in the cupboard. I've put it away. I literally got it. There you go. Cool. I need to put this somewhere, and I've just put it in the cupboard. I haven't even opened it yet. I've got snacks and everything else. No, it's the Brightblood Marauder one. Mine are still in the yellow DeWalt box that I've been using as a carry case because I just needed something which used to carry all my old X-Wing models in.
Mm.
That is serving as a cradle case and for those. So
Yeah.
excuse me.
But it also helps keep like my desk clear as well. So I've only got like a unit on my desk. And what I'm doing with the Dark Operations is when I'm nearly finished with one unit, I'll put the request in to get my next unit printed out. So I'm getting them printed one unit at a time. It helps that I've got my Mark III army, so I can start playing games, and I'm just adding the new things to it. So I've got the Criterions done. I've got the Hive Mind Cadre done. I've finished sculpting bases or base toppers for the Iconoclasts, so they are on the way. I should hopefully pick them up at the weekend. So yeah, it's just being a bit more organised with how I buy stuff now. I think that's helping.
See, for me, is when I, with our good friend Dan, I asked him if I could have a couple of his models for the Crucible Guard if he wasn't needing them anymore. He said that was absolutely fine. He gave me a selection of models. I think I stripped and repainted them the same day. I stripped them down, washed them all down, and resprayed them all on the same day after they dried. And that was back in the summer, so we had longer days, so I could get on and do that. And then I managed to get them all done. Super happy with the way they turned out. So I managed to convince him to do a trade with me. So he just dumped a load of models on me.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, I hate batch painting, but with the troops, the rocket men, I had to batch paint them.
And that's where the airbrush shines, isn't it? Is you can get all those base codes down.
But because I started learning different sponge techniques and different quick techniques to show battle more on the armor, so it's only comprising of 2 colors, and I didn't even have to shade it to make it look like it was damaged. So using the Citadel Incubator Darkness to go under the armor.
Yeah.
So to put that up on the armor first, and then I was using the Emerald Green from Vallejo.
Yep. And
just literally just flicking it on with no care to how it goes, because it just shows when it's got almost like try to explain. So one line will go here, another line will go underneath, but it's such a very state that it looks like it's been chipped and worn at the edges of the plates and armor.
No.
So it gave it a nice look. For other ones, I have sponged on. I have done other bits just to blend it in and make it look better. So get more practice with sponging. And again, they look really good. But I worked out that I could was like, okay, we've got a game coming up. How much do I need to get painted? Cool. Well, I want to take this. Got my list. Was like, let's get that painted. Bash that out. Cool.
I do try
all these troops.
When I'm doing a game day, I'll try and squeeze one unit in that's not painted to give myself that little time pressure to actually get it done. Because having a deadline is a great motivator for.
If it makes you feel any better, I've got to get that tank fish for Sunday.
Dun dun dun. Yeah. I don't think I have.
Because I wish to bring it in demo with it. So.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take. I'm going to bring Magnus and Invictus down because I actually painted them last year, I think, and I've still not actually put them on the table. So, and I think they'll make a great model for demos because they're big and chunky.
Also, from our last call, I now know what I'm doing with the the Rocket Men. Rocket Men. I'm stuck in my head now. So the Dragon's Breath Rockets came with 3 original members now. First, I'm only having 2 per base. I'm having the loader and the sight. What do you call them? Sighter.
The guy sighting it in.
The guy. Yeah, that's the one. The guy who's sighting it. The guy with the manuscript who's meant to be like the field map. I've seen some technical. I know it's really sad. I get really excited for things like this. So there are decals in employment that actually have like a mechanical blueprints on them. So I was going to take those and use them as battle mechanics.
Yeah.
Because the only thing they're missing is the blowtorch, which the normal ones have, but it's the same sculpt, it's the same everything on it. It's just missing a spanner and a few tools on it. But I was like, nobody will know the difference. They could work in tandem.
Yeah.
And I could take up to 4 battle mechanics, so I thought it would fit nicely, and I can have different sculpted ones.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be nice.
Yeah, sorry to just chuck that in the wayside, but again, that's something I will get around to doing because I like playing around with decals. I like sorting out things along those lines because I have a whole like envelope in there. I think a lot. The last Bring By Sale I went to, which was at the old employment, they just had a bag full of decals, and I said, "How much is it?" And they go, "Oh, somebody only wants $5 for it." And I was like, "Done."
Yeah. Yeah,
Didn't matter.
the bring and buy sales, I try and avoid going to the bring and buy sales because I always end up coming back with stuff. I've taken a load of stuff to them to sell, and it's like you kind of have to price everything at a fiver, otherwise it's not going anywhere.
You say that I foolishly, because I didn't realise at the time when I was going through all my stuff to get rid of, had the original copy of the free Kickstarter version of Prodos's Alien vs Predator game.
Yeah.
I've had it since it got released. I'd only ever played it once, and it was a real shame because it is a lovely game. Beautifully sculpted miniatures. If anybody remembers Prodos before they went down the pan, because I used to play a lot
of the Alien
Warzone.
vs Predator game.
Yeah, it is because of that. But then I still have the Alien Queen sculpt in the cupboard. That is probably the only model I won't paint because it's still in box. Yeah. It's crashing through the Ishimura. Not Ishimura. Sorry, I'm playing a lot of Dead Space at the moment. It's the Ishimura. That is the marine ship. So yeah, it's crashing through that. So you've got the old CRT monitors being ripped apart, and it just looks absolutely insane. That's still in the cupboard somewhere. But when I sold that was like, I think I put it up for 20 quid. I didn't realise how much the going price for it was. It was about £250 on eBay. Yeah. That's like its lowest price. But again, I didn't want it. I wanted rid of it because it had been sat in my cupboard for so long and it was such a long box. I think it was, I think my cupboard is 3x4, like 4 foot deep by 3 foot.
Yeah.
It took half of that 3 foot up. It was just an insane box. I think it was 1.5 foot worth of box.
That was huge.
And it just took up all. Yeah, it just took up all this room. And I was like, I haven't got the space, or I need to get rid of this. So, it was good for me. But somebody else has obviously come along and had a really good time out of it. But again, like bring and buy sales are great if you set yourself a budget of how much you want to spend. And that's just something that you see that you really desperately want to get. Like you can pick up paints. Somebody's decided they're out of the hobby. You can pick a great way to pick up cheap paint sets.
Mm-hmm.
Decals, which are always useful if you want to have a practice and play around with decals.
Yep.
Great way of getting cheap models as well. So if you're not wanting to settle in a scheme just yet, great way of spraying up and painting and test painting.
Pick up something dirt cheap that you can just paint over.
Yeah.
And the next one I think they're doing is the 17th of January. So if you are Bournemouth Pool based, 17th of January, grab yourself a bargain at the Bring and Buy or clear out some of those old projects. Ready for your New Year hobby goals. I don't set New Year's resolutions, but I am setting hobby goals each year.
Yeah, but for the New Year, it would just be the same as I always have done this year.
Chaos.
I'm going to be carrying on with... It works for me, and I've painted a lot this year. The thing is with it as well is it's my way of chilling out in an evening, and a lot of people will go, I want to paint. I'm going to paint all this stuff. And then they get, basically, I can paint. One day I want to paint, or I can just leave on the table. I'll carry on the next day. I'll be like, right. Thing. Or if I'm in the flow of painting, before work, I've painted things. I've got my dry palette is my dry brushing palette is the back of my hand. I know it's got a cast on at the moment, but I've always usually got from here to my tip of my thumb all the way down to my wrist is covered in paint before I've gone into work, because I've just had that when I've woken up and I've just had a look at the model going, you know what, it's really missing this and it really needs this right now. So I can just paint quickly before I go to work. Sometimes it's a good idea, sometimes it's not, because I'm just thinking at work going, when I get home, I'm going to go do this. And then I get sidetracked and I'll forget. But I usually try and stick to, if I can paint 2 models, maybe 3 models in the evening, that works really well for me. So
yeah, I think I've got a few bits that I want to get done in December, but I've actually got some holiday for like the first. I actually had some holiday that I needed to use, otherwise I know. So I'm going to have a couple of days painting. I want to get the rest of the Hive Mind Cauldron. I need the Malfesser, 2 more Criterions, Semestra, and Xiphus all done. So I'm going to get all of them done, and then in the new year, the plan is at least all of the new things for Dark Operations done, and then Fane of Nero comes out around my birthday, conveniently. Yay!
Hooray!
So I'm getting into Fane of Nero. That's the next plan.
My Christmas will, if I can get the guys to, because they're doing me a couple of test bit couple of testers at the moment. So once these are all printed off, and I can get the file from Vulcan because I haven't got it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really organised. I need to send the files over to them, and then they'll print it off. If I get to build and print it off, then that will be my Christmas.
Yay!
And I'll just be painting that. I've got a nice, I think it's like 12 days off for Christmas, something stupid like that. So
I've got
first 4 days I'm busy. So as soon as I'm back, that will be my project. Is to crack on and run up some 2 lovely Vulcans for the new year, so that when we go to do a demo day, I can turn up with 3 tanks, 2 Vulcans to go. I think I'm still left over with 13 points, so I'll have to try and build that with some 4 battle mechanics of a point each.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Cool. Awesome. All right, doesn't look like we're getting Mike back at all, so I think we're gonna.
Mike. I already know what Mike's gonna do. He's gonna be trying to paint everything he's got. Because I know he has painted everything for crits.
Yeah.
Apart from Death Jack. So as soon as he gets Death Jack, he will be painting that, and he will be such a happy little boy.
Maybe I should paint my box of cricks. I have a box of cricks that's stashed behind there. I should paint that at some point.
Yeah. And then I just need to build the new Gorman, the Wolf model.
Yes, however that's coming. We don't know how that's coming out yet, do we? So.
No, they haven't said anything. But then again, we have got January where all new Crystal Cloud releases are going to be, because I don't think they're going to release anything over Christmas, because that would just be silly.
Yeah. Well, we just had Death Jack, and so we'll see. We'll see. Cool. All right. I hope you've enjoyed us rambling on about hobby stuff. Hit the comments up. Let us know how you organise your hobby. If any of these things that we're putting out are helpful, let us know. Otherwise, I'll see you next week.
Ciao.